broken alone. I feel the rain crashing down.
Hey everyone, I'm DJ Alex Brown and welcome to today's gig log. Today I'm at the Crowne Plaza in Warwick, Rhode Island, DJing for the wedding of Ashley and Michael Lorenzano. They're using multiple different spaces at the Crowne Plaza today, so we'll be taking a look at all of that in this gig log. And I'd like to take a minute to mention that I have been to the Crowne Plaza for weddings before, as well as a number of other events, galas, corporate events, just a number of other things. They have a lot of event spaces here. I'd love to go into all of them today, but we would have a much longer video if I did that. I'm in the cocktail hour space right now, and we'll jump to talking about the cocktail speaker over my shoulder here in just a moment, but I want to start by talking about the services that I'm providing here tonight. So obviously, I am the DJ for this wedding, but I'll also be providing services for the ceremony, cocktail hour, and reception as far as audio. That's what you see off to my side here. But I'll also be, for the reception, providing my new audio guest book, which is common at weddings. You know, you pick up the phone, leave a message, and then the bride and groom gets all those messages after.
Hi, Ashley and Michael. We just want to say congratulations from the Crowne Plaza Hotel in Warwick.
This is the by far coolest thing I think I've ever seen at a wedding.
I have my basic low tower lighting here today, so about 6 feet tall, with my new Shehds moving heads on top. We'll talk about those a little bit later in the video. I'm also doing photo booth for the wedding today, so we'll have the iPad-based DSLR photo booth from ATA Photo Booths that I'll be using for that. And then for the main sound system, I'm using my QSC K12.2s with my QSC KS118s. Again, this is plenty enough sound for this room, but it's what I felt like bringing. And this wedding is a New Year's Eve wedding, so it is December 31st, 2023. The wedding will go from 6 p.m. to 1 a.m., so we'll be doing a countdown for the ball drop and all sorts of things like that. Okay, so we're taking a look at my cocktail hour speaker right now. This is the K12.2. I have 4 of these speakers now, so I'm using the same speakers all around here. I like the consistency and reliability of these speakers, so I've just started running with all QSCs and all the same speakers so that I can interchange them out as needed and everything kind of matches. So for this, I'm just using a breakout cable to go into both the XLRs on the back, which I very much like that this speaker has, so that I can still send stereo audio without having to mess on settings on the device that's sending to the speaker. Of course, I'm using a tripod with a scrim, keep everything nice and neat. And that's really all there is to mention about this speaker. They'll be in here for just an hour for the cocktail hour. It is a little bit of a difficult setup inside though, because we have to flip the entire room and set everything up within the cocktail hour. We have a little bit more time because obviously guests can't come in until everything is set up, but we are on a tight deadline, and I'll talk about how we're doing that in just a moment. So I'm using my QSC K12.2 again in for the ceremony with my QSC Touch Mix mixer, and I have all of the gear for that mounted on a shelf under the speaker. I've been using the QSC mixer as basically a stage box under the speaker so that the mics are as close as possible to where the body packs are, as close up to the front of the room. And then I'm running the mixer off of my iPad using the Touch Mix control app, and I run a 50-foot XLR from the speaker and the mixer up to a little front of house table where I run music off of my phone or my laptop, depending on the situation. So we're gonna head to take a look at the actual ceremony as it happens now, and then take a look at the cocktail hour.
All around this empty town, I'm searching for the lost and found. But you don't care, you're unaware. Keep moving like the scars aren't even there.
In their relationship. Romance is fun, but true love is something far more, and it is their desire to...
In the air, like a blazing flare. Don't stare, 'cause the flames will burn us. I thought you were the one for me. That's why I gave you everything.
Okay, so as we talk about flipping the room here for the reception, I have actually hidden, on suggestion of the Crowne Plaza, all of the stuff that needs to be preset because it's going to take longer than an hour to set up. Back here, so I don't know if you can see, but we have the speakers subs down here, and then the 2 trusses with lights. So, you know, from the other side of the room, you can't even tell anything's back here. Obviously, the hose out is at the bottom, and then all the wires are here, coiled up on dollies, so that you can just move these into place, drop them off, plug them in, and it's pretty much good to go. So hopefully that will cut down on our setup time. And then over on the corner over there, we have a photo booth bag for the printer. In that corner, uplights, and then outside is the rest of what I'll call our backstage. So cases, some other stuff that is either water resistant, waterproof, that we just can't set up yet. So the actual photo booth enclosure, controller, all that kind of stuff. We'll bring that in later. So that's stuff that can't really be preset. That's that for now. Let's take a look more at this madness of flipping.
Possibly can. I want them to be able to hear you in the cars passing by on I-95 over there if you're from the area, okay? Ready? 1, 2, 3, make some noise. And let's get a quick round of applause for your officiant for the night, Chris, and his wife, Courtney. And let's hear it for your matron of honor, Rachel, escorted by the best man, JD.
So we are in Alfred's Lounge right now. This was the cocktail hour location. It's just an awesome spot to shoot video right now because obviously it's very loud over by the atrium room. We are through speeches, parent dances, and first dance. Finally, they did do some shuffling of the schedule just because the timeline had changed a little bit. They didn't really plan enough time for guests to enter and to do dinner, and they're actually doing multiple courses for dinner. So that kind of adjusted the schedule. So we just got speeches done. Everything has gone well to this point. The groom has been very thankful to me, which I very much appreciate, that he appreciates my services. That's always amazing. For flipping the room for the from the cocktail hour and ceremony into the reception, it was a very tight timeline. We did it in about an hour and 5 minutes. Now, like I mentioned, we did have preset already the towers for the lights and the subwoofers with the speakers on top already, but we did have to move those into place at the same time that the venue was moving all of the tables into the room. I really wanted to get a time lapse of this, but with everything going on, it just really wasn't conducive of doing that. I didn't want to get in anybody's way or anything like that, so I opted out of that. And introductions went great. I have a recording that I can stick in if I have time in the video, but unfortunately, as always, I forgot to record the introductions on my phone so that you could get actual visual, but everything went great. Everybody's having a great time, and there's a little bit more of a party vibe tonight because this is a New Year's Eve wedding, so people are enjoying the night partially as a wedding, but also partially as like a New Year's Eve party, which I think is a really interesting dynamic, and it's going to be interesting to see how this dynamic will go on for the rest of the night. The next thing we'll be going into is dancing, and I do have a New Year's Eve countdown that I got from Crate Connect. They have a cool pack out with DJ Control and DJ Cool, so I'll stick that in here if I can get something non-copyrighted that I can throw in, and that's the next thing that we'll be taking a look at. So
I was thinking about singing Baby Got Back, but the music's actually doing really, the DJ's doing great.
You've been knocked down and got up again. In a corner, you're surrounded, no defenders. Whoa, you've hid your fury and kept it in. But it's time now, you ignite and turn to embers. Like a
all right, so it literally just hit 2 o'clock in the morning, January 1st, 2024. It's already 2024. I very much need to go to bed right now, but truck is all packed up. It took us about an hour, a little bit more than an hour to pack everything up, and that was with the guest book, the photo booth, the lighting, full sound system and having to walk around guests the entire time that we were packing up, because for at least a half an hour of that, guests were still hanging around. Got a lot of thank yous from the bride, the groom, guests, family members, and I always appreciate that a lot. Everybody had a great time. This was a super fun wedding. I wasn't sure how I would feel about DJing on New Year's Eve, but I really enjoyed it. I had a great time. They were a great crowd. So I will come back at my desk to talk a little bit more about this once I've had time to regroup my thoughts a little bit. But this is my night of recap because I'm very fried. I've been up since like 9 o'clock this morning, so it's time for bed. Okay, everyone, I want to take a minute just to wrap up this video. This is the office wrap up that I mentioned when I was standing in front of the truck at the Crowne Plaza. It is Thursday, January 25th, so it's been about 25 days until I've had the opportunity to shoot this recap. But basically, one of the things I noticed when I was editing this video, and the reason that I like to do these recaps after the fact, is that one of the guests, Donnie, who I put his audio guestbook message on in the video, said, oh, you know, I was thinking about singing Baby Got Back. He was probably drunk, which I'm pretty sure I played. But anyway, he was like, you know, I was thinking about singing this, but the DJ is actually doing really good. He's great.
I was thinking about singing Baby Got Back, but the music's actually doing really, the DJ's doing great.
And that's one of the things that I didn't really expect to happen with the audio guest book, but I think is really cool, is that I have this message of a guest like giving basically an audio testimonial, like, hey, the DJ is great, which I think is really cool. DJs out there, if you don't have an audio guest book, they're really not that expensive to get. I wouldn't necessarily plan on having high popularity of renting it or very much income from renting it, because from my experience, everybody has an audio guest book right now. So, you know, it's really more something to have. I wouldn't offer it for free unless you're charging like a ridiculously high all-inclusive price, you know, just some nominal fee for it. And it does take time. It takes time to set up. It takes, you know, you have to take the audio files off after, depending on how you're sharing them. You're paying for maybe a gallery service or something. So keep in mind that cost. But it was very cool to get that audio message. And the guests and the couple absolutely loved the audio guest book. So that's one highlight that I didn't really realize until after. The couple has already left me a great review on Wedding Wire and the Knot, so I'll stick that up here as well. I also want to point out for any of the couples watching this video, I am currently about 90% booked for 2024. So it's January. I'm really taking maybe 2 or 3 more weddings that I'm going to do, and the rest are going to be, you know, if you want to hire my staff, you can hire my staff. But I also want to shout out there for any of the couples or the DJs watching. I just got my, I think it's my 6th Couples Choice Award and my 3rd, I think, Best of Wedding Awards from Wedding Wire and the Knot, respectively. So besides that, it was a super, super fun wedding. I had so much fun. It's always great to work with nice couples who, you know, are just super happy with everything you do. And that's the vibe that I was getting on doing this wedding. So I really enjoyed it. I had a super fun time. It was fun to do on New Year's Eve. I actually really like the dynamic. I'm also very happy so far with the Shehds moving heads that I got. They're 230 watts, I think. But I'll be doing a review for the DJs on my channel of that soon. I'm still waiting on the road case for them to come in, so I want to wait until I get that in. If I don't have it in another month, I'm just going to cave and shoot the review. So without further ado, I'm going to wrap this video up because it's probably already way too long. Thank you so much for watching. If you're a DJ, make sure you're subscribed to my channel to see more videos like this, and check out the playlist that's going to pop up in a minute with more gig logs on it. If you're a client looking for a wedding DJ in the Rhode Island area, please reach out to me if you're interested as soon as possible. The sooner the better. At this point, I'm pretty much looking at 2025 dates. That's going to be it for this one. Until next time, peace.